Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into this one. All right, Jimbo says college sports is unfair, and many of the schools are turning into basically glorified junior colleges. And the Big East commissioner is telling everybody they can't afford to pay this settlement with the NCAA. They're very poor.
Please, sir, I want some more. More?
Now, we're going to get into a lot today. And I know that thumbnail has too much stuff on it. It's too convoluted, but I can't help it. There's a ton going on today, and we need to get into all that. And for the Kentucky and Tennessee fans, I'm fully aware that Chaz Lanier is visiting Kentucky today and Tennessee tomorrow, and I think he'll make a decision this week. For Tennessee, I'm sure they're glad they're going to get the final visit. I don't know how important that's going to be. Honestly, this is probably 50-50, and for the BYU fans, you're not getting Chaz Lanier. Just go ahead and tell you. But we should be at the end of the Chaz sweepstakes this week. All right, so let's get into this Jimbo Fisher story. You're not going to believe this crap this guy's saying. Jimbo Fisher claims ACC and the Big 12 are becoming glorified junior colleges. And this was an interview on Sirius Radio. It says, here's what's happening. All of your mid-majors and a lot of your not mid-majors, I'm going to say ACC, Big 12, Old Pac-12, some of these leagues, they're becoming glorified junior colleges. Said some of these teams used to battle for playoffs and have great teams. They took 3-star guys, 4-star guys that you missed and developed into a heck of a player and became a great player at their school. And he brought up Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech and what a great player he was. And then in today's world with NIL, somebody would have grabbed him up in the Big Ten or the SEC. Basically, he's mad at those two conferences. Now, this is a guy that has made so much money, it's unbelievable. And he played a huge role and profited off the unfairness to the point of absurdity. Literally, he's being paid $76 million not to work. That's how much advantage he took of the situation.
There you go. There you go.
But now, afterwards, after he's gotten his payday, he's going to talk about the unfairness. And there may be some truth to that. But coming from him is unreal. He also said college sports is not fair. He says, I'm going to be honest with you. College sports is the most unfair thing we do. College sports, it's not fair because there's haves and have-nots. You think about how it's set up. He's literally talking about haves and have-nots as if he's separated from it. The hypocrisy right now, it's almost, I don't know that I can handle it. It's at such an epic level. Something's going to happen. Something's got to give.
What have I done? What the hell was that? They've gone to plaid.
Oh, yeah. Jimbo just went plaid. He went plaid. I knew something terrible was going to happen. Jeez, this guy. He says each commissioner, Greg Sankey, has done an unbelievable job for the SEC and the Big Ten, unbelievable job for them. Said there's only so many pieces of the pie, so they've taken them and they've hurt the ACC and Big 12 and, of course, the Pac-12, who ended up folding. Says the game is almost unrecognizable from 10 or 15 years ago. The big conferences have access to more money, even through the largely unregulated NIL. We have to find a way to come together and get ahead of college football where everything is balanced. I don't like the inequities that are going on. It's not fair, but it's never been a fair. Oh, my God. This guy, this dude. Oh, I can listen to this from a lot of people, not Jimbo Fisher. I'm sorry. I can't take it. People, I can't take it.
Where are we at in society today? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Let me let him finish up here. Jeez, I got to hurry up on this one. I can't listen to much more of his nonsense. You say the NCAA was a governing body. No, because each individual conference operated with autonomy. Where they're missing the boat, because I know one thing, the salary cap in the NFL is the same across the board. He wants everything the same, as long as he gets his tons and tons and tons of money. There's some truth in that, but like I said, I just can't take it from him. I just can't. It's too much. And it's getting ready to get real in here with this NCAA settlement that's coming this week. And I told y'all about this yesterday and the day before. Huge settlement. And we've talked about the nuts and bolts of it, and I've shown you the charts of how they're going to do that. I'll just real quickly, just a little summary. This is the $2.77 billion settlement over 10 years that's going to have to be paid in damages to players that weren't allowed to have NIL back back from 2016 and forward. Power 5 or Power 4 now is going to play $1.1 billion. Group of 5, $450 million. Some of the small Division I schools, $75 million. And NCAA, $1.1 million. And that money's coming out of the NCAA payout from the March Madness and the NCAA basketball tournament, which they make a ton of money on. And also part of that settlement, you'll have revenue sharing, $20 million approximately per school will be paying out that much. They don't have to. They can opt out. There's additional scholarships that will be added, $2 million in damages. About $30 million a year is about what the revenue sharing is going to be over the next 10 years. So you've got not only the damages that'll be paid, which is 2.7 plus billion, you've also got the revenue sharing. And what that is doing is settling several class action cases. House, Carter, Hubbard, and there's another one, Fontenot, which starts Thursday, which is why there's a deadline for Thursday on getting this voted in so they can make that case hopefully go away in their mind. We'll see if it actually does. But they're trying to settle all of this in one encompassing settlement. And the other 3 lawsuits, I think, are on board with this. And part of this is the lawyers and the class action participants are going to supposedly encourage Congress to put in an antitrust law to protect college sports from class action lawsuits, which we'll see how much weight that carries. And there's well over 10,000. I think there's like 14,000 student athletes that are involved in those class action lawsuits that'll be getting that money over 10 years. So, I mean, it's a bunch of people. And the commissioner of the Big East has a strong objection to the settlement. She says it's not fair to the Big East Conference. And the commissioner's name is Val Ackerman, and she is very unhappy with the plan. Now, she agrees you need to come up with a settlement. She understands the incredible risks they're under. If they don't get a settlement and they lose these cases, it could be a $20 billion award because antitrust cases can be tripled as far as damages. So it gets really risky if they don't settle. And her concern with being the Big East is they don't have a bunch of football programs, and she thinks they're going to have to pay too much money. Now, when you see the amount, it's not that much for Big East. It says under the formula, the Big East will be responsible for $5 to $7 million annually over 10 years, or about $70 million tops over the next decade. It works out to around $600,000 to $700,000 per school per year. And she wants that lowered by about a third. I think she wants it down well below $500,000 per school. Now let's look at these schools in the Big East. Now look at these teams. Butler, University of Connecticut, they just won 2 national titles. You think they can't afford $600,000? Creighton, they're always in the NCAA. DePaul, Georgetown, Marquette, all of these get to participate in that financial windfall. St. John's, Villanova, another national champion. Seton Hall, Xavier, all these teams do great in basketball. Now, a lot of them don't have a football program, and they feel like, oh, well, we don't have a lot of these kids that would be getting those damages, so we shouldn't have to participate in it because it's mostly football players. It's not going to work that way.
I'd unfriend you.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
If you're involved in this and you're participating and it's your decision not to play football, you don't want to spend the money. And the counter argument is, well, just don't do sports. But here's the problem. Sports drives their universities. They get a ton of students because of it. You think kids don't want to go to Connecticut because they won a national title, or Villanova? They love it. They absolutely love it. And that allows them to charge huge amounts of tuition in order to get those kids to go to that school. And they use sports as basically the advertisement. Oh, come here. You can enjoy all that we have to offer. And look, we won a national title. So it's a huge money driver for them that has nothing to do with the sports money. Think of the tuition money and the state grants and federal grants and all that kind of stuff. So this is absurd that these schools can't afford $600,000, upwards of $700,000 a year.
You serious?
Especially with the endowments that they get. I mean, this is nuts. So anyway, Big East, Val Ackerman, I guess, look. Greasy wheel gets the grease. I don't think there's any way they're going to adjust this to satisfy her. And she's waited till the last minute. It's Monday, and they're voting over the next 72 hours. She's come to the party way too late. And this is pretty typical when you have to try to get a bunch of people to agree to something. Usually one person acts like they had no knowledge of this. She's known about this for weeks and months, I'm sure. How would you not? I've known about it, and I'm just a dude on YouTube. She's going to play ignorant about it. Oh, we weren't even involved in this. This isn't fair to us. We would have never agreed to these exact parameters. Go ahead and agree to the amount, but not the percentages. That's not going to happen. The train's moving. You can either get on or get off. She will not get off this train. I'll just go ahead and tell you, not a chance. Just pay the $600 grand. It's nothing to your universities, not a thing. She could help out and take a little cut in pay, and that would help get some of the money. Bet she doesn't. I tried to find out how much she makes a year, and I couldn't find it out. I think it's because of the way the conference is set up. Maybe they're like some sort of nonprofit or something. Nonprofit. Maybe it's private schools. I don't know. But I could not find out how much she makes. I'll bet you anything it's 7 figures, though. All right, folks, so we're definitely going to get some sort of settlement, in my opinion, over the next couple of days, probably by Thursday, because there is a deadline on the Fontenot court case, which is the 23rd, which is Thursday. So be looking for that settlement. I'm going to be covering the crap out of that along with all other college sports news. If you want to keep up with this, hit this little button right here, and it'll help you get my videos. It won't cost you a dime. It's the subscribe button. And right over here is a most recent video YouTube thinks you'll enjoy based on your viewing history. And we will see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.